And no hanky panky emails. There's like a safe word, and the safe word is like I don't know, brittle biscuit.
Bit.ly.square.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, almost all those emails have like that I've gotten that are weird, and they have the strange wording, have like a bit.ly link at the bottom of them, or some kind of weird, abbreviated.
I don't even get those. That's why I'm so weirded out by it, because I'm like, they're plain text. There's nothing in it. It's just bad English.
So people are just like guessing email addresses and sending random letters, like in hopes they'll get something back. Hi, I am Kyles. To be making friends with you, please.
Yeah.
And then question mark.
It's like stuff like that, and I'm like, huh. There's no porn spam. There's nothing. There's like no buy this penis enlargement. There's no like tart cherry juice or crap like that. There's like absolutely fucking nothing.
My mother makes best salsas in universe. Would you like some? Question mark.
Like,
Right back if so, please.
It's like I almost like picture like Balky Bartakamus has just gotten onto AOL like back in MePost or whatever. And he's all like, oh, I'd like to be logging online. Cousin Larry at Larry.com.
He thinks everybody has their own
Send goat.
Send goat.
Like it's instead of emoticons, you got like egoticons and everything.
Egoticons.
Well, that's actually what Gmail stands for.
Oh, I got the e-yogurt.
Goat mail.
Oh, great.
Gmail stands for goat mail.
Oh, yeah, goat mail?
Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome.
D-Hart, we didn't even do our, speaking of you, we didn't do our introductions. I'm Evan. That's D-Hart over there who's looking at me mouth agape.
Yo.
And Shane.
C.
And, we just, we sit here and we talk about random stuff. Occasionally we get to the news. Are there any news stories we could perhaps discuss?
Well,
there are some stuff I'd like to talk about.
One of the things I'd like to talk about is, I'm going to cut this video in. I'm just going to show him because we've already seen it.
That's interesting that you're going to cut a video into an audio podcast.
The audio of it.
Yes. Do not adjust your ear screens.
Look, I just got injured in a car wreck by one of your clients. I got bills stacked up to the roof. Now, when can I expect my money?
Fool, this is a Deebo insurance company. We don't give
Wow.
money. We take money. Now get up.
Blast from the past.
Just got Deebo'd.
Hurt in a car wreck? I'm attorney Daryl Isaacs, the Hammer. Don't get Deebo'd by the insurance company. Call me. I'll work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve. Even Deebo's no match for the Hammer.
Dude, that guy's office was down the street from us. Literally down the street from us. Like, you could throw a rock.
He's not
from my
even
window.
riding away on the right kind of bike. He's like tooting off on a mountain bike.
Right.
Okay, for one,
You're reacting to a Daryl Isaacs
market.
commercial.
You know the market that he's going for here. I mean, how many? Okay, you're saying your clients are two things. They're black and they have watched Friday
At least once.
and they might not have been stoned enough to forget all of it.
Right.
So you're dealing with a pretty slim audience here.
Right. Or a Slim Shady audience.
I mean, myself. Oh, that's true. I mean,
See?
you could have.
Don't forget, man.
Yeah.
Winners exist.
They have 6 versions of that commercial with
Is there one in Spanish though?
No, there's
Like no mas Deebo.
let me explain. There are 3 men, 3 women,
Solo hombre.
and they range from vanilla, chocolate, and swirl.
So there are one for each type of racial demographic.
Okay.
Yes.
There's white,
What about for albinos?
African American, and
And-
Hispanic.
Well, not necessarily Hispanic, just
Latino.
kind of
We don't know.
yes.
Italian, Jewish.
Yes.
All other minorities that are brownish or could have curly-ish hair.
Other.
Okay.
They just got some guy with an accordion in the background the entire time. Like, I
That
don't even
works.
know what the country
That works.
this is.
Italy, Spain, Mexico.
It's like I picked that one because that guy can act a little bit. The guy he was talking to, the complainant. But some of the other ones,
Complainant.
I like
Yes.
that term. That's yes.
Pretty sure
Your Honor, the complainant is obviously trying to Deebo us. I got bills to pay. When am I gonna get my money?
fool. I'm gonna bust you in the lip.
like
We're gonna
the-
take all your money and kill your face.
the ones of the women are great because he gets so fucking. It's very abusey.
He's like,
Shut up, bitch. I'm gonna black your eye.
Yeah, he
Like, literally.
he literally puts his fist up to a woman's face.
Between his face and their face, he holds up a fist like this and shakes it thusly, as if he was about to wallop them.
Yes.
Domestic violence-y style.
He told I think it was the white woman. He said she had her arm in a sling. He's like, "You better get out of here before I break the rest of your parts."
Dude,
Yeah,
really.
Man,
How do
Deebo
you
is
react?
The best.
How do you react to Daryl Isaacs or Daryl Blank, if we have to bleep this out since he's a lawyer? How do you react to these advertisements that he's trying to obviously make a viral
he put
thing?
them on TV.
Yeah, he put them
you can-
online.
Fuck, they're on the internet.
Yeah. And it's like, I hope they go viral because
I like how
they
you just ran out of
are
breath.
hilarious.
I'm just trying to think of a focus group like being tested with these. Like,
This
all
guy's
right.
in our old neighborhood and your current neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know?
So focus group number 15, 40-year-old white women. Okay, reactions. What the fuck? All right, that's better than the last group. Okay.
I think it's great, guys.
Focus group number 2. We've got what is this? It says here, prepubescent black children. Okay, show them the one with the woman. What the fuck? These. What the fuck? Like, it's kind of a catchy gimmick, but I can't imagine somebody using it for real. Like, it looks like something we would do.
I saw it on television,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like on
It-
broadcast.
It's a
television.
real thing. It's like, that's how I found out it exists, and I immediately went to YouTube. I want to see it again if they're... It's like, I've got all the versions. I think
I
you
downloaded
ripped
all
them.
6 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something where you've got to download it because it's going to be one of those things. It's probably not going to be around too long.
No, they'll set him
Yeah.
straight and he'll pull these ads down. But
I mean-
we'll have him preserved for
So,
forever.
I mean, to go ahead, I mean, in his favor, I mean, for an ambulance chaser, that is a pretty good commercial.
Yeah.
I laughed.
I mean,
I'm still not gonna call him, but I laughed.
No,
I mean,
I would never call him.
I don't really have the need to.
The guy that
I mean,
hangs out with Deebo long enough to shoot 6 commercials.
Yeah.
I don't.
That
I
was
don't-
at least half a day's worth of work, and he knows Tiny Zeus Lister. Still, though, those commercials are genius.
Yeah,
I give him a thumbs up. From me, from Evan here at Unitedcypher.com, I'm going to give Daryl Isaacs' advertisements a big thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. One of them for involving one of my favorite cultural touchstone icons from Friday. And then another one just because, wow, that's a pretty hilarious...
that
hilarious
was
anger
some
towards-
insane thinking to come up with that.
Yeah, it's wrong, but in the right ways.
Now we just have to wait for the rebuttal from the other gimmick lawyer in town, Julie the Tiger.
There is another lawyer in town?
No, yeah, the other gimmick one.
What was
It's like Julie the Tiger
From
something.
Team Jaguar!
Oh,
No.
no, was
remember
it
the
was
Tiger?
it Kaufman, Sigger, and Hughes or whatever? Would like call the Tiger or something like that.
I
And
don't
then you've
remember.
got the general. I mean, you know,
The
there's-
General's
General's
an insurance company.
insurance.
Oh, is he? No. There's
Yeah.
maybe it's the Colonel.
Dude,
There's like all these things
I
they
thought the
need.
Colonel was the guy that sold all the chicken, man.
No. There's different stuff, but they need to. They need to have like they should just go into wrestling. Like this is the best way. Like I've talked about this before. They need World Wrestling Deliberation, like where people like you go into the ring and it's like literally like ding 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 ding. This next match set for one fall. Isaacs versus Tigger.
He's got the hammer time. It's Daryl Isaac's hammer time. He
All right,
just runs out
guys.
of
I
hammer
want a
fist.
good clean fight.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Daryl the Hammer probably
Mm-hmm.
related to Greg the Hammer. Come on.
I mean, the American legal system is already kind of farcical in the first place. Let's just take it totally fucking over the top, dude.
Yeah.
Take out the jury and, like, let's just go at it like fucking Mad Max style and let these dudes
One man
take it to the
enters.
mat. you
Two
know?
man. Wait.
Two-man
Two man
enter.
enter.
Wait a second.
man.
One man enters, 2 men leave? Like, what the hell is he, like,
Well,
split himself into two?
He has to give birth to a butt baby. And when he gives birth to a butt baby, they're both free to go.
I'm out!
I'm telling you, man. You let them go at it this way, it'll be great. I mean, for one, you'll make money off of, like, selling seats
Yeah.
to this. Yeah. And then, what better way to let someone decide your case than the squared circle?
Bring
You know
on
what?
the post-apocalyptic society.
Yes!
Ring the bell. I'm all about it. And then after that takes off, we can start our series, Obese Wars.
you mentioned Bob Obla, so
You want to have a spoiler cast about Arrested Development?
well, not spoil anything, but we
got
could
it.
talk about it.
I kind of do. How are we gonna? Have you seen any of it, Shane?
No.
At all, ever?
I mean, I saw some of the original ones, but it was like it's one of those things where like I have this weird kind of love-hate relationship with the Bluths, where like literally there are people that if had I the opportunity to spit on them in public, I probably would.
Yeah, that's the point.
Like they're like
You're not supposed to like them, really.
Well, I mean, they did have positive moments in the series.
Yeah.
But most of that is completely gone in the new one.
Yeah.
It's like they're all sinking to new depths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're gonna probably end up saying something people don't want to hear if you're a real fan of the show.
You know, I can
and you've
edit
seen.
it.
Well, no, don't edit it. Just preface it this way: there are potential spoilers in the following conversation about Arrested Development, the new series, the new 15 episodes that were just released on Netflix. I'm really gonna talk about how I feel about it. In terms of like what I think it represents for television, or at least televisual experiences, and I'll just let you start though, D Hart. Like, how do you feel about it?
And since I don't know anything about the new episodes, I'm just gonna play the analropist of the bunch. And
Oh, Tobias,
Yeah, that's
you blow hard.
That's a meme they brought back. The an hourpist.
Well,
this time
changed it now.
he changed it
No,
because he.
also he
Oh
changed
yeah.
it, yeah. See, you're
He
getting.
got into a little bit of trouble.
But that's the thing.
Everybody gets into a little bit of trouble.
Everybody
in this-
hits the bottom of the
Yeah.
bucket. They've scraped the bottom of the bucket in their lives. Michael, particularly, I think Michael hits the lowest, and that's what's
no.
real. You think?
No.
Not as low as Lindsay.
I mean, no. I'm pretty sure that would be Buster.
yeah,
at the lowest.
yeah, but
He had a little upswing.
he
and
flew
then
really
he-
high
yeah,
and
he-
then crashed.
He flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, like much like Icarus.
Yes.
With his gigantic. That's all I'm willing to say. No, the show itself, to me, what they've done with it, what Mitchell Hurwitz has done with it, which, by the way, one of his big projects was Golden Girls. I don't know if a lot of people know that. He worked with Golden Girls back in the day. The original show was very self-referential, and there were lots of things that you would have to actually pay really close attention to even notice a lot of the humor in the initial series, the first 3 seasons, and it would be easy for a lot of normal people, I guess people who aren't obsessively watching it over and over on YouTube, to gloss over, the jokes, the hidden jokes, and the weird little kludgy things, and but with this new series, it's almost like a visual novel. It's one big story that really, the story itself starts right after the end of the series, season 3, the last episode, and takes you up till now. So it covers that 7 years since that happened to now, basically. Right?
Yeah, and everybody gets there within 1 to 2 episodes.
Exactly. Some people
generally, I think
Michael has 3, doesn't he?
He might
Michael's
have
is the
3.
last one too.
No, it's George Michael who has the last one.
Oh, that's right. Well, each episode is basically centered around the story of one character. The first one, of course, is Michael, because he's the one that he was the focus of the last series, really, in a lot of ways, even though they did cover a lot of the characters.
It was basically from his perspective,
right.
According to the intro at the beginning.
And
one
the show,
son who
the
had
show,
to keep them all together.
Right. They kind of get at the fact that Michael is the one who's keeping the family. He's the glue that holds the family together. But anyone who watched the original series would know that Michael is just as fucked up as everyone else, if not the most fucked up.
Oh,
character.
he's horrible. I mean, he doesn't listen to anybody.
Michael doesn't listen to anybody. He only hears what he wants to hear. And that very much happens and is proven to be the case with this new series. Michael...
to hilarious results.
Yeah, to the point where he...
alienates a lot of people.
Yeah, everybody. Even
Yes,
his own
everybody.
son, which someone he used to claim to have a great relationship with, but he ignored the fact that his son, George Michael, told him he was in love with his cousin several times before he even acknowledged the fact that he'd heard it. He did say that more than once. George Michael just laid it out there. And he was like, oh, now you taught me something. Or he's like, oh, you're just, whatever. He's like, I love you too, son, because he thought he said he loved him instead of he loved his cousin. But yeah, the series, to me, it was like a giant choose-your-own-adventure book. And that's what I heard. I read an article, Mitch Hurwitz said that. And to me, it is like a lot like that. So if you're a fan of, like, I don't know, I think what Netflix has done to television is kind of novelized it. You know, like the ability to sit and stream every episode of a series back to back, and you just kind of sit and just kind of absorb it all, like we've done with our Doctor Who fetish, Shane. And I'd done before back in the day when I was on PBS and I didn't, wasn't in school. It's like, oh, Doctor Who marathon. It's taken the idea of marathoning television shows to the point where it's like a visual novel, where you could sit down and absorb the show and kind of make a broad. Develop broad ideas about what the artists behind the show are trying to get across to you, and that's what this whole 15 episode block is like to me. It's like that whole experience condensed into one, almost like a mini series. You know what I mean? Even though it is technically a full series of a show. Thoughts about that? Like, don't you feel like it was kind of novelized in a way?
Yeah, I mean, every character just covers the same course of time in the episodes that are dedicated to them.
Right.
It's just some of them get more time to, get through the whole fucking story because it's 7 years.
And they pop in and out of
but
each other's stories,
like
too.
they all start and end at the same time, and they're overlapping, and it's very complicated.
It is complicated. It's just like a choose your own adventure book, and you could draw different conclusions about each character based on how many times you watch the episodes too.
Over the weekend, I was at my mom's house, and we turned on TV. There wasn't shit on except for a Doctor Who marathon, and we ended up watching some of the newer ones with David Tennant. And
those aren't new anyway. But
well, I said they newer.
Okay.
Because it's been on for 40 fucking years or whatever.
60.
Going on 50.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, it's like I would have as much trouble explaining the backstory to Arrested Development as I would explaining the backstory to Doctor Who. The parts that I know.
Right.
Because I don't know all of it.
Well, it's equally as convoluted in a lot
I know.
of ways.
It's so fucking
Well, it's because there's so
complex.
many characters within this one group, this one unit, that all have connections to each other. Whereas Doctor Who is more this one man, this one humanoid person who has kind of tenuous relationships that are kind of thin to all these
Over
different universes and worlds
time.
and everything else.
Real human time.
Exactly. So he's tied into
It's like 50 years.
He's tied into our own world and our own universe, whereas the Blues are tied into their own little universe, and they're kind of basically ignoring what's going on around them, even though they're kind of loosely associated with reality. But it's mainly their own reality is what they're obsessed with.
Well, I mean,
how the world sees them.
Yeah.
The way they've kind of built the Blues to be, I mean, like, this is apparent in the first series of it, is like they're your archetypical, like, if you could be the most American family out there, like, you could be the Blues.
Well, West Coast American, like,
well,
rich
I mean, even
snob
still,
families.
what, like,
Yeah, rich.
what well, I mean, just don't even consider the rich part. Just consider how these people function. Like, they're so fucking self-absorbed.
Yeah.
I mean, that truly is like the essence of what we kind of do nowadays. And when you go and see these guys do this shit, this is part of why I detest them so fucking much. Because you see little shards of the Bluths in every person you run into in the real world. And you're like, fuck. Yeah. It's like the fucking like They Live. It's like you're walking around with the glasses on at that point on because the Bluths have shown you like what really happens in society, and that's part of why I have so much trouble watching the show because it's like painful. It's like
having ever smoked pot a couple times and then going and talking to normal people in the street. It's like having a conversation with them. You're like, oh, you're just a maniac. I realize that now.
You don't even need drugs to like fucking feel it.
It helps.
If you're getting negative vibes from the originals,
oh yeah.
Definitely don't want to. You don't want to venture any further because every one of them, it's like
I think he would love it.
Every one
because
of them
he hates them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he would like it more than us. He would.
It's like every one of them has such a lonely, depressing vibe. Every episode.
But I think that reflects your
it's
opinions,
funny.
too.
It's funny within that, but overall, it has that. It's like, man, they're fucking alone.
It's like what Shane said, and I'll let you get to this. I know I can tell you're on a cusp of a good point here. Who the Blues were then was very indicative of the time that they live in.
Right.
It's a reflection of America and Americana at that very time. Just like I was trying to get to you the other day when I said the Blues in this 7-year span, this new series, they're very much indicative of how the world's been now. They actually experienced the housing crisis. You see them live through what we've lived through for the past 7 years, and it corrupts them in the same way it's corrupted a lot of Americans, now.
Right.
Not to the point where they're crackheads stealing cutting open my trash bags outside at 5 a.m. with their lights off in the street next to my house and stealing my trash looking for metal. But, that's totally autobiographical, by the way. But, it is very much indicative
As opposed
of
to
the
the guy in corpse paint that's like digging through your garbage can looking for tapes of metal.
Right, exactly.
You know.
See, I would approve of that before I'd approve of the crackhead. What were you saying?
Hey, buddy, why are you throwing this priest out, man? This is good shit.
Man, if we had some priests, we would be fucking throwing it
I
out.
would
right.
never throw an
Damn
80s
right.
cassette ever.
Anyway, so what I was thinking there, like 2 points came to mind. For one, that's good that they didn't skip over that time span between the two.
Oh, no.
2, the thing that really like appears to me, like when I think about the Bluths, they remind me a lot of like Greek tragedy and the notion of comedy, like where it was like a Greek comedy was not really you laughed at all the bad stuff that happened to these people, and there was no happy ending.
Well, the difference is in the comedy they didn't die at the end.
If you watch this series, there are a lot of negative outcomes, and lots
Yeah.
of swings happen. There's this prophetic thing that's said by a complete moron. He says, "The weak will become the strong, and the strong will become the weak," and that is very true. That's exactly what happens in the story. If you liked the original series, Arrested Development, and you don't like this new series, I question what you like and why you like things, because I found it to be profound, and as an experiment in what new media can be, I loved it. I ate it up. I've already started to watch through it a second time, and I can't wait to the movie, which they've heavily hinted at, and based on how it ends, if they don't release a movie, people are going to go crazy. Like, I want to know what happens to the movie.
They'll have to at least put out another
Another series
season.
even. Just do that.
Yeah.
I have like one kind of final thought on it. Did you see the torrent figures?
For that?
Uh-huh.
No.
It's supposed to be 100,000 downloads, something like that.
Yeah, like over the weekend.
Oh, dude, they'll
So
definitely make a movie.
part of me gets me. I hope these are all like outside of the country, because if you're in the U.S. and you can't scrape up like $8 to support something like this,
For
I mean,
1 month. I mean, you
Yeah,
could cancel
I mean-
after that.
yeah, essentially this is kind of like an experiment in a company like Netflix, which is still kind of small potatoes compared to something like NBC or ABC or
Yeah,
HBO.
I mean, this is their 4th series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta say, my little axe to grind with this. If you're a cheap bastard in the U.S. and you torrented it, hey, like take it from a reformed pirate. You give him the fucking $8, man.
worth it.
Like I don't know, fucking mail it to him. Like I don't know, do some shit.